Hi guys and welcome to Cooper's Keys. So this is the area where I want to teach now. I want to try and make some of these gospel concepts quite straightforward and easy because I'm a simple person. I don't know about you, and I like easy stuff. Anything that requires less brain power, please give me more of that. Now there are some gospel tools that gospel musicians walk around with, and for the untrained eye these things remain a mystery, or shall I say the untrained ear, because music, remember, is a listening art, not a visual art. So we'll try and unpack some of these concepts as I show you through demonstrating songs or song tutorials, that these concepts and tools are just being repeated in slightly different ways. And once you get your hands behind these tools, then you can become creative. You can start to call yourself a gospel musician, okay? So this is the song "'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus." The first thing that we're doing in this song is we're creating movement in a static section. Now, I always recommend knowing the song before coming to the tutorial. In this song, we're playing in the key of C, right? So if I just go basic and show you the basic chords that are happening here, we have C. Then we go to F. Back to C. But we lingered on the C just a little bit too long for the gospel musician's liking. He wants to move a little bit. You just can't hold that C down for long enough without scratching that itch. So 3, 4. The whole bar was on C. 3, 4. Okay, fair enough. A bar is not that long, but sometimes it can be, especially for a slow-paced song like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how can we create movement in a static section in gospel? So one of the ways you might have heard movement created in a static section is going to the 4. So it's like I'm holding the 1 down. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we kick in, right? 1, 2, 3. But obviously we're gospel musicians, so let's add some movement. 1. So what is that? All I'm doing is adding in the 4. That's a 4. You can do this on the guitar as well, isn't it? So it's just the inversion that I'm using. This inversion allows it to look more static because I've still got the C in the bass. So that's just one, and I'm only demonstrating that one because I'm sure a lot of us have heard it before. That probably sounds familiar to most. But the most simplest way you can create movement or create some kind of interest, let me not say movement, let me say interest in a static section, is by going to the 5. So let's go back to the basics again. C, G, C. So we're gonna, that's too much. So let's just do, okay. So now we have some interest. But let's just expand this chords out a little bit and play more open voicings. So the open voicings will be, that's just a C triad, okay? It's just more open. You say, how did you open it up? Well, I'll show you. So here we have a C triad. And all I've done is taken the middle note, which is E, and played it up here on the next E. Now let me show you how my hands look. One section, take it out. So I'm changing the fingering ever so slightly so I can reach out for this. Some of us, this is basic stuff, but that's fine. C. And I've played 4 notes. Who said you couldn't have more than 4 notes in a basic chord? It's still a basic chord because it's still just 3 different notes: C, E, and G. Not a triad, but it's still just the basic C chord, right? So to G. Again, I'm just opening up the voicing. Then there is a what I call the rhythmic kicker here. Okay. I'm using that as a passing chord. Now, what's a rhythmic kicker? So again, when we want to create some more movement or interest in a song, we use what we call a rhythmic kicker. And I'll give an example. You have something like so I could have played that simply as But as soon as I do this, it creates more impact and more power. So now you guys know some of the secrets, right? So a rhythmic kicker, I could use it in, for example, chords. God cares. I say God cares. What I meant to say was God can. That's the song. See how I use it there? Simply, I could have just played it C, F. But because I did the rhythmic kicker, except this time I walked down into the note, target note. And check this out. That's a rhythmic kicker again. I'm just running into these bass notes, right? A lot of the time, the left hand is left out when we're teaching gospel technique. But see, I'm showing some love to the left hand by showing you the rhythmic kicker. Now you know what to do with your left hand. You got the your whole. Okay, so I'm using my right hand there. I'm cheating, but you've got your whole left hand pattern that you can use to move into notes. Remember, you can go up or down into notes, and sometimes you can even skip around a little bit. Just practice and could be creative. Okay, so let's carry on unpacking some of the goodies in this goodie bag. Movement on the piano. Lesson number 1. Rhythmic kicker as a passing tone. And now we get to grace notes. That's a lot of grace notes, right? So the grace notes here are... Where's the best place to put grace notes? Wherever you think they fit. But as a general rule, when you're starting, the best thing to recognize is that they really work well when you're sliding from a minor to a major. This is something that we do a lot in the blues. Or that's like something you do in the blues, right? Sliding from minor to major. And so grace notes work perfectly. So if I'm on the chord F, I know I can do a grace note and it won't let me down if I do that. If I'm on G, the minor would be B flat, right? And that will work perfectly. Even in C. Okay? Now that's a bit of an advanced grace note I'm doing there. I'm crushing that minor sound. And I'm adding a grace note before I get to the D, right? Because normally I go. So there isn't really a hard and fast rule as to where you can go. It becomes a taste thing. You develop better taste as you do more grace notes. For now, just copy mine or copy other people's grace notes, and then you'll find that you develop your own sense of placement for these things. Okay. So in this case, I was going to the E minor as a passing tone before I get to the F. And I know because I'm on F, I can slide off that minor tone. So the question is, why do I go from instead of playing that there, I went all the way up here? Well, the reason that I remember to use more of the keyboard is because one time when I was learning, I remember specifically my jazz funk piano teacher in school told me that you're doing great, right? You're doing great. And you're not a bad pianist, but the problem is you only use the middle section of the piano. You're too comfortable playing down here. And you can imagine, I thought I was killing it. But when she told me that, I was like, damn, that's actually true. And I listened to her playing, and she adds more tone and more color by using different sections of the piano. So that's what I try to do here. So we have a, let's use the higher portion of the piano as well, and then go back down. And now we're really using the entire piano, right? We have all the piano is quite a long instrument. Not my keyboard here is quite short, 66 keys, but nonetheless, the piano itself is a full instrument, 88 keys. It's quite a long instrument. Has a lot of range, so why not use it? Okay. So just as a recap, we have here one static section, right? Grace notes. Piano range. 7-3-6 movement. Okay, that was a 7-3-6 movement. It doesn't really matter what you do here. The D minor works over whatever. Oh, sorry, the 2 minor works really well over whatever you play in the B section, because this is gonna be a B minor 7 flat 5, right? But it doesn't matter what it's called. And then at 7-3-3-6. So why 2 3s? All I've done is I've played a different inversion. So my 3 chord is gonna be E. That's a 3 in C, right? And then I invert that. It looks like I've changed chords, but I really haven't. That leads me to the 6. So what's going on here is we land on the 6, and then we have this. Back to the 6. What is this? Well, this is what we did at the start, which was creating movement at a static section. So normally up here, so I'm still on the A minor, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then we move on to a different chord. So instead of just remaining static on that 1, I can go to the 5. Remember? The reason it's minor is because, well, we're in the key of C, so A is going to be minor in the key of C, and so that 3 chord is also going to be minor in the key of C. So the static is. And so, but instead of playing the minor, right, it should be minor. We've added a bit of color in playing this here, right here, which is just going to be an E13. It's a major. It doesn't mean that it's going to work all the time when you're playing a static section, because it could be horrendous. If I did that at the beginning when I went, it doesn't really sound right. If I play something like a minor here, it doesn't really sound right. That's going to be just a case of experimenting and seeing what works. So in this section, the E13 worked fine. It even afforded me the grace note. And now we're gonna do a 2-5-1, right? But normally you guys are probably aware of, but did you know you can also add the sharp 11 when you get to the 2? I say this is the crying 2 major, because it does add a bit more emotion. It softens it a little bit. If I just have a, that sounds very striking. But if I have a, I think it softens it ever so slightly. So a sharp 11, and instead of landing on the 5, look what we're doing here now. We're being gospel musicians. That's what we're doing. So we go to the flat 5, which, if you think about it, can go around in circles of 4th, right? And you probably heard that before, but in this case, we'll just go to the flat 5 and back to the 5. And I think this is where I'll leave it. There's more to cover.